morning everyone. So today we are going to see a case study problem in transportation problem. We are going to solve those transportation problem using a northwest corner. The problem statement. So we are going to calculate this problem. That is, we are going to find the initial basic feasible solution using the northwest corner method. So this is the problem statement. This is the supply for this problem and this is the demand for this problem. So what is the first step of this problem?
Whether we have to find a balance or unbalanced.
Problem is balanced or unbalanced. So for balance, we have to add the supply as well as we have to add the demand. So the total supply is by adding all those value, I get an answer as 950. Likewise, we have to add the demand value also. So the total demand will be by adding all those, again we get an answer as 950. Here the total supply as well as the total demand, we get an same answer as 950. So therefore the problem is balanced. So if it is balanced, we are proceed with the problem. If it is unbalanced, we have to convert this problem into one balance. Then we are going to do with that problem. Here the problem is balanced. So we are going to do the problem. So next we are going to write what is the problem which is given in the. So here the method is northwest corner method. So we are going to allocate in the corner value of this table. So this is the corner of this problem. So I am going to allocate one cell in this corner. So now we are going to allocate one value in this box. So here two values are there. One is 250 and another one is 200. So out of these two values, which one is the smallest value?
200.
200 is the smallest value. So I am going to substitute that 200 in this box. Okay. So now we are going to subtract this 200 from both the value. While subtracting 200 from the 250, what is the value?
50.
50, yes. Again, while subtracting 200 from this 200, what is the value?
0.
0, yes. So now we are going to cancel the one row or column which get an answer as 0. So now we are going to strike out the value which I get an answer as 0. So here only I get an answer as 0. So I am going to strike out the first column. Okay. In the next step, we are going to write the remaining values which we found in the previous step. We are going to write those values with the next step. Again, we are going to allocate in the corner value. Okay. Now we have two values. One is 50 and another one is 225. Out of these two values, which one is the smallest value?
50.
50 is the smallest value. So we are going to allocate those 50 in the box. Now we are going to subtract those values from this two value. 50 minus 50, what is the value?
0.
0. Okay. Again. 225 minus 50, what is the value? Okay. So 225 minus 50, the answer will be 175. So now we are going to cancel the value which we get an answer as 0. So here only we get an answer as 0. So we are going to strike out the first row. In the next step, we are going to write the remaining values which we obtained from the previous step. Going to allocate the value here 300 and 175. Out of this, which one is the smallest number?
175.
175 is the smallest number. So we are going to allocate the 175 in the box. Then we are going to subtract those values from the both the values. So here 175 minus 175, we get an answer as 0. Again, 300 minus 175, we get an answer as 125. Okay. So now we are going to strike out the value which we get an answer as 0. So here only we get an answer as 0. So I am going to strike out the first column. Then we are in the next step, we are going to write the remaining values which we obtained from the previous step. So I am writing all those values which we obtained in the previous step. Again, we are going to allocate in the corner value because this one is the northwest corner row. So we have to find. Then tell me, now we are going to choose which two numbers?
Number, least value.
Least value. That is 125 and 275. Out of this, which one is the least value?
125.
125. So I am going to allocate those 125 in this box value. Then we have to subtract those 125. So 125 minus 125, get an answer as 0. Again, so 275 minus 125, I get an answer as 150. Okay, so in the previous step, what are the remaining values? I writing the next step. Again, we are going to, out of these two values, 400 and 150, the smallest value is 150. So I am going to substitute in the box value. So subtracting both from the 150, here I get an answer as 0. Here I get an answer as 250. Okay, so then here only I get an 0. So I cancel this value. In the next step, we are going to write what are the remaining values, that all are we are writing in the next value. So here 10, 250 and 250. In the final step, these two value must be equal. If it is equal, then the problem will be correct. If it is not equal, then the problem will be wrong. So here in this problem, both the values are equal. So my problem will be right. So in the last value, both the values are 250. So I am going to substitute the 250 in those values. So after all those allocation, we are going to write the question which we given in the problem. So we are going to write the allocation in the each value. Here the 18, what is the allocation? 175. So I am writing this here. And next 14, I get an answer as 125. So I am allocated as 125. Then the next value 13, I get an answer allocation as 150. So instead of 13, I get an allocation as 150. And the last 10, I get an answer as 250. So I get an allocation. The next step, we are going to find the initial basic feasible solution. So the initial basic feasible solution is calculated by multiplying both the values. So by calculating the initial basic value, we have to multiply the allocated value with the respective value. So in the first step, the allocated value will be 200. So 200 into the respective value will be 11. Okay. Then plus again the next allocated value will be 50. So 50 into 13. Again. So next, tell me what is the next value?
175.
175.
Multiply 18.
18. Okay, correct. Next and next value?
125.
125.
Multiply 14.
14. Okay. Next value?
150 multiply 13.
Okay. Next value?
250 multiply 10.
Okay, next. So the final answer will be, by multiplying these two, I get an answer as rupees 12,200.